So now we're getting down to the strategies that we need to employ when we're shifting our perspective back from outside the business to inside the business, and we're looking at the what I term is the triangle of a classic business, and that's the sales, the cash and the information, because we're actually in business to exchange the value of our product in return for reward, which is the cash that a customer gives us. And we've got to monitor that with good information so that we're doing it efficiently as possible and gaining the maximum return for that transaction. So we start with the sales navigation, the sales process. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to break down the sales process into the various quadrants that apply to each of the elements of a sales process. We are identifying just by using some keywords, what that means in terms of each of the elements, and therefore those keywords will actually help us to decide which members of our crew, and remember our crew can be external as well as internal, and what are the tasks that typically our various crew members would need to do to execute the sales processes, or the sales processes as defined by these elements. And again, these elements are in a logical sequence. You'll get most out of it if you stick to that sequence. We start off by marketing. By marketing, what we mean is to identify who our customer is and to be able to engage with that customer, and to be able to have that prospect lined up as someone who is interested in our product. So what quadrants might be important to the marketing process in terms of engaging with our customers? The quadrant is going to be about territory. It's going to be, so in terms of our territory, what's our customer profile? What research do we need to engage with them? So we need to, so market research is a classic term. Our vehicle quadrant also has elements in there as well. For example, in terms of marketing, our price points. Are we offering it on a capital purchase, or would it be more engaging to offer it on a lease or rental purchase? I've just identified some of the keywords that I might be writing down for each of those quadrants, and now I would go ahead and identify who would be best equipped to actually make certain that those processes are carried through. This is not information gathering. We're talking here about what are the things that we have to do to continue the sales process on to the next stage. I need to build up a picture of what I'm forecasting my sales to be as part of the sales process. That gives me an understanding of all the customers of all the prospective customers, I should say. What am I forecasting to convert in terms of my sales? What do I need in terms of the processes to actually produce the forecast? So I may want a sales report from my resellers. I may want a marketing spend from my distributor. So all of the keywords that are going to help me put together a forecast of how many of my prospects are going to be turning into customers. So after we've got our forecast of what business we're likely to do from a marketing campaign, what we need to do, and these two are closely related, is to generate leads, positive interest from those prospects, and then how do we convert that positive interest into sales? An example again might be that the people who've requested product information, we might say to them that because they are someone who's expressed interest in our product, that for this month only, that we want to make them a special offer. We may offer them a discount, or we may offer them a second product at a special price. So you can see that what we're building up is all the information that's relevant to a sales process that can be implemented and undertaken. This stage probably would need to involve our crew more so than any other stage, because basically not only do the crew have to take on board what's required, but they can actually participate in coming up with the ideas of what tasks and what roles. So we're not sort of here working in our business, we are very much working on our business. Get your crew involved in coming up with the keywords, the tasks and the roles at this stage. So I think by now you're getting the idea that we're going through each of these elements in turn, and each element is described in terms of its terminology and its meaning in your logbooks. But what we're doing is we're putting together a picture of how we move through, how we navigate through a typical sales process. What quadrants are involved, how to describe what we need at each stage, and therefore generate ideas from ourselves and our crew in terms of how best and how efficiently we can execute our progress, our navigation through this sales process. Then we build up processes that are doable, achievable, and meet the company's needs as well.